Let's get back to work. As I told you, one of the recent conversations that I had with Lord Jesus Christ, that he's been very frustrated with people in the 21st century, that I'm dealing with. He says, Earl, they see God as an economy. They see me as the head of their economy. If I can't, it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger's character as Conan. Get me revenge on my enemies, if not, screw you, crow him, stuff, and that's ridiculous. Jesus teaches you how to live faithfully, eternally, by having faith in infinite glory. And then eternally understanding the laws given to us by infinite glory. We've covered this over and over and over again, And then sharing faithful love with each other, honoring and respecting, stuff. And so you get a lot of these people today. And I know the young kids are affected by the Wi-Fi that causes brain damage, so I'm real patient with the young people. The old people are affected by tribalism, biological and psychological conditioning that they feel comfortable with. And there's nothing comfortable about it. The young people feel more comfortable because they have a saturation of technology to make them feel like they're doing the right thing and they'll survive all this hell that's going on their media and their TV. They try to tune everything out and then focus on everything they consume and who they're consuming with. And I've noticed that with things, all these things, all those, Christian singles, elitesingles.com, farmers only, all that, thing. Okay, you have similar consumer habits, and here's somebody that has similar consumer habits with you that could have sex with while you're being a consumer. I'm like, oh, that just sounds perfectly hideous. And it is, right? And so you got to understand, and in a world that's not living the Lord's Prayer, women are tyrants when you try to have a relationship with them if you're not buying into the consumer-driven, we'll be happy if we do the right consumption bullshit. When we live in a 2-story house, right? I got my story and I've got mine too. How sad it is we still live. But if you remain consistent in your social causes for economics and consumption, and then you keep a sex life that is consistent with those patterns, you get a dopamine rush and addiction thinking this is just a heavenly marriage ordained by God. You fuckers are nuts, None of you are living the Lord's Prayer, And so when you get this kind of thing going on, you look at these people, and there's right and wrong, and there's good and bad. And on that last video when I talked about good and bad, and good is not at war with bad. If you watch TV, bad is at war with bad. Good is north of San Ysidro, New Mexico, going, Yelp, Lord's Prayer, Yelp, 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 son of a fucking bitch, Yelp, I say, you bastards. See, good is sitting in a chair right here going, how much brain damage does it take how much wood could a woodchuck cook if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I mean, what the fuck is going on here, right? And so you can't get angry. I mean, you can get angry when you're disrespected and abused by people that have brain damage. And you're trying to teach them to, hey, stop doing the brain damage thing there. But, I can't quantify it. I can't explain it to you. I don't understand why my family still hasn't gone, he's right. And we're wrong. Right? Because most people that are cognizant of right and wrong should understand and go, yeah, he's right, I'm wrong. There is no magic solution. It's faith based on reality. Right? You live the perfect commands of the Father, and then you live in the world that he intended for us. And then what happens after you're dead is, you have faith in God. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. So you don't sit there and try to get everybody to agree with you when you're a bad actor engaged in conflict over money and define your life as what you're consuming and who's you're consuming it with. It's miserable to define yourself as, it's like Fight Club. You're having sex with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's mama, and then you're consuming all the stuff and hanging out with extremists that think they're all doing the right thing. It's excessive, it's compulsive, it's boring. All they talk about is winning the fight. It's like, live the Lord's Prayer, fucking Yelp already, right? And you're like, so I don't get upset. I don't stay upset. I know I'm right, and I know people that are fighting over their finite perceptions are wrong. So I get frustrated and I get upset, and then I go, okay, just regroup. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. You're the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. You're right, they're wrong. Okay, when a man is right, he will not fight you to do right. He will light the way for you to do right yourself. Okay, and right is right and wrong is wrong. And truth is truth and lie is lie, right? And so that one gentleman at Lowe's, what is truth? Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Well, we can't talk because I'm a philosopher. Oh, fuck, he's a philosopher. You know how many fucking philosophers I have to deal with in Las Cruces up in fucking New Mexico? It makes you really grumpy. Because philosophy, philos, if you could read the Quran and ascertain some of what's going on in there. I know it's been corrupted and changed, but it's still very good document with a lot of very good information. Okay, when he talks about the Greeks and philos, and the Greeks giving themselves unbelievable mythology as religion, and then turning to philosophy of their own minds trying to figure out the universe and confine the glory of God to their philosophy, that they destroyed any capacity to live among one another humbly and faithfully, which is true. The Greek civilization imploded on itself. Then they passed it on to the Romans and también. And now they pass it on to the Americans, and here you come again. It's terrible. Yeah, of course it is. Okay, guys, I'm going to drink my water here. Yeah, I told Dad, he said he thought it was our salad. I was like, no, I don't think it was a salad because of the way we're coughing and the way we're, having the stuff in our throat. I think it was something viral, something in the air. And chemical reactions in the environment can cause viral infections that make your immune system, jeopardize your immune system, we went over there and weighed ourselves. He lost 7 pounds, I lost almost 9, so I figured that much in 2 days. So I'm going to keep drinking water. I'll go get more fruits and vegetables next time we shop and focus more on that, do a little fasting here and there, help the body clean out a lot of this crap. And I think with the stuff with proteins, proteins is something you might want to look at individually. I think if you're in a healthy environment that doesn't have a lot of chemical toxins, you can process proteins real well. I think if you're in Riverside or El Paso or someplace like that, I think you might want to cut back your protein and try a little bit more of a, not completely vegan diet, but go more towards a vegetarian diet and limit yourself to meats and proteins. Beans are a good source of protein. If you're not on a diabetic treatment with things, apparently they can't do that. It counteracts with their insulin. Once you started taking their drugs and it's affecting your body, I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know how to kick you off of it. I don't know how to clean you out from it. I'm not a doctor. Okay. But if you're not on any of those kind of programs, if you're in El Paso or you're in Las Cruces, especially El Paso, guys, try to use as much salads and incorporate live foods into your diets. And then, and beans are good. If you're one of us, I all my friends, family, and all of my kids always, you're a Mexican, Dad, you're one of us. Josie Provencio, you're a Mexican, you're one of us. So, us beaners, eat your beans. They're good, excellent source of fiber and protein. So, que bueno, right? And then eat a lot of that, eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. And then on the weekends, have your carne asada, your more of your meats. And when you can exercise it off a little bit and then go back to work, gets you through the thing. But focus on trying to just be healthy to get through this. I want as many of you to focus on survive. The best way you can help stop and eliminate abuse is focus on the Lord's Prayer with me. Every time you start to get frustrated about money and the things that they're putting us into, focus on the Lord's Prayer. Even if you have to go get a job to pay the bills, okay? And still focus on Lord's Prayer, Lord's Prayer, Lord's Prayer. When you're at work, okay, Lord's Prayer, and any day now, it could just flip. Okay? And don't listen to Dr. David Jeremiah, It's because of Israel. I am Israel. It says in the book of Revelation that the house of David is in the valley of the shadow of death, anonymously being tortured by the business partners of the people pretending to be Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu and those mass murderers are not Israel. Israel is the house of David. Okay, I'm the house of David. I'm the boy from Roofline. Okay, guys, do you understand? If you don't believe that, you can believe whatever you want to believe. But if it's not faith based on reality, It's just magical thinking by corporations that are fucking over your head while you sleep with their technology. Okay? I love you. Because you allow them to. All right. Get up in the morning and tell them, no, Lord's Prayer, that's it. Okay? That's what I do. I love you.